So guys, GPS or paper map? What should I take on a long motorcycle trip? That is really nice question, and I have very simple answer. But before I tell you what I think, let's discuss the pros and the cons of the competitors. Stay with me. I will start with the GPS. It's absolutely great device. It has so much information in that we cannot even imagine to travel without it. Number one, more information. Even a very cheap and simple devices like this Garmin, for example, has so much information on it. You can play with the menu scene all day long and you will find everything you need. Addresses, hotels, restaurants, attractions, garages, galleries, and many more. It is the device you must have, especially when you're traveling around the cities. Number two, easy to use. Even a 5-year-old kid or 8-year-old biker who refuse to use any technologies will be fine after just 5 minutes. You don't need to know anything about the navigations, about the road planning, about the directions, about the compass. What you have to do is just choose the destination, press the button, and follow the instructions. So simple. Once you have done it, it is almost impossible to return back to the old paper maps. Number three, you can use it while you're riding, or even better, you can connect it to your Bluetooth device and you will listen to the instructions and you don't need to pay any attention on it, which is of course even safer. Number four, easy and cheap to upgrade. You can download any map for the half of the price of the same paper variant. The maps are much more detailed, and actually you can have many maps in just one simple device. You can switch between different maps with just one click, even while you're riding. Number five, traffic information and calculations. All new models will update the traffic information and will find the best possible road for you. They will calculate everything and will show you just important numbers. Kilometers and hours per day, average, constant and top speeds, estimated riding hours or arrival time. All of this information could be priceless, especially if you're fighting with the time. There are many more pros, but I think these 5 are just enough. The devices are absolutely brilliant. Let's talk now about the cons. Number one, price. The new models like Garmin Zumo, for example, cost about $400 or more. I'm not saying that is impossible price for you guys, but because of that I still use my old Garmin, because I cannot find a really good or proper reason to spend $400 or $500 for a new GPS. If somebody want to make me a present, of course I will take it and use it with pleasure. Number two, they need power. To work to the way I just explained, they need power. Which is mean you have to prepare your motorcycle with power outlet if it hasn't. It sounds like a not so big problem, but let me give you one example. I was traveling in Madrid, Spain. Of course the GPS was guiding me. Everything was fine until one very special moment when the device just blinked twice and I saw on the dash a big sign: lost power, the device will turn off in 20 seconds. Because guys, this is a very old device, and because it is stay always plugged with the power, the battery died many years ago. So when the power is off, it's stopping just in few seconds. Yes, I will agree, with the new device the battery will last longer, but how longer? 2-3 hours maximum. Anyway, I pull over and stop to see what is the problem, even that I already know what is the problem, because it happens a year earlier again with the same GPS. So on my motorcycle I have 2 power outlets, one on the left and one on the right. The left one stopped a year ago, similar situation, and without cleaning it I just plug it to the right one. So when it happens now, I already knew what exactly is happening. I stopped on the first possible safe location. It was not so safe because it was raining and so many cars and people everywhere. But anyway, I don't want to open my box to looking for a sandpaper or a proper tools to clean that power outlet, and I decided to clean it just with my pocket knife. And guess what? It was fine until I touched the plus and minus, and I just burned one of the fuses and everything stopped. I'm sure now many of you guys will say, yeah, but on my power outlet I have a rubber cover, so when I close it, the water cannot go inside. Yes guys, I have the same, but to plug your GPS you need to open that cover and then the water go in. So the water go in when you're riding on the rain, not when the bike sitting in front of your home. The story of course has happy end because many years ago I was living in Madrid and I was able to remember roughly where I am at the moment, and with the help of the locals I was able to find the address I need. Of course, on the next day, already in the hotel, when the weather was nice, I just clean it properly and fix it, and that's all. But this guys was just one example that the GPSs are great devices when they work. Number 3, with the GPS you don't know where exactly are you at the moment. It sounds a little confusing, but let me explain you. When you're using a GPS, it's the same like to be a passenger in somebody's car. You don't know what is in front of you, what is on the left or right. You don't know what kind of towns or villages or cities you have around you. You don't know about rivers and bridges, you know nothing. You just watching this small screen, follow the instructions, and that's all. And if the device stops, exactly like the situation I just explained, you're lost. Number 4, possible theft. Every time when you leave the bike, you have to take the GPS with you, unless you have some kind of locking mechanism to protect it. Number 5, risk to drain your battery. It is a classic example to forget the GPS plugged in for a day or 2 or 3 or week and to find your battery flat. Most of the power outlets are connected straight onto the battery. When you turn off your key, it doesn't matter, it is still on and the navigation is working until it's drained your battery. Okay, let's discuss now paper maps. In this case, instead of pros, I will start with cons. Number 1, you have to learn how to use it. It is not that difficult, but you have to spend some time to learn it how to do it. To have idea about the roads, directions and symbols, you have to read the legend. Almost all maps use the same symbols, but if you never read it or if you never see it before, it's going to be tricky. Number 2, number of maps. If you're planning a long trip with few countries, you have to buy a map for each one of the countries. So at the end, you're gonna need a bag or at least a big pocket to keep all of that maps. Number 3, you have to buy a tank bag. It is not necessary, but if you want to be able to use that map, you need a tank bag. Tank bag with a transparent pocket on the top where you will put your map and you will be able to read it. Of course, you can just keep it in your pocket or in your bag or in your top case, it doesn't matter. But that means every time when you need some directions, you need to stop, you need to take the map, open it or just open your top box. If you have this tank bag, you can just stop, look and check. Number 4, you cannot use it while you're riding. Actually, you can, but the letters are so small, so you will need time to find it, which means that you have to stop looking around you and focus on the map. And of course, this will put you in a serious risk to make accident. It is always better to stop and check it properly. Number 5, paper maps do not last longer. It depends on the quality, of course, but usually they last about 1 or 2 big trips. The problem is that because the maps are big and the tank bags are small, you have to fold it to the specific area, the area you are at the moment, and then fold it to the next one and again and again. At the end, because of all of that foldings all the time, it will start to cracks here at the edges and finally it will fall apart. Let's talk about pros. Actually guys, I found only 2 real pros of the paper maps against the GPS, but they are more than enough for me. First and the most important is to get bearing, to know exactly where you're going, to be familiar with the whole location, the whole situation. Preparation is the key of success. With paper map you can see and you will know everything. You will know where is the north, east, south or west, where the rivers are flowing, where the highways are, the main roads, the cities or everything what is in your location. even if you lose it, you can just close your eyes and you'll remember so many details. The reason of that is because during that trip, guys, you're gonna check the map so many times that without even notice, you'll remember most of the details. And you will be able to remember the most important towns, roads, rivers, connections, and duplicate it later. I don't know for you guys, but I always prepare the road before I go. So I sit at home with open map and big marker like that and just draw the road I am going. I even put a small notes like that, how many kilometers or what I have to expect. I just circle the most important points and many more. I will give you one more example now, guys. We were in Kazakhstan and we were in the middle of nowhere, and my friend burned his clutch. So we were next to the road trying to fixing the clutch and to solve the problem and so on and so on. And until we do this, my bike was sitting on the side about 20 meters away from me. I was able to see it, but before a big truck stopped in front of it, I missed it for a short period of time. And during that time, somebody tried to steal my GPS. Of course, they couldn't, but what they did, they just cut the cables. So we finished with the bike, we load my friend's bike on the truck, he get into the truck and they went, and I have to meet them about 350 kilometers away on a just small village next to the road. And of course, I turned on my motorcycle and the GPS, and I then realized that the GPS is not working because the cable is cut. So it was dark and these cables are very thin and my hands are with oil everywhere, so I cannot really plug it, I cannot really fix it at that moment. So what I did is just try to remember what I have seen on the map. And because in Kazakhstan the roads are not so many, it was just one or two big roads, I actually remember where I have to go because I have seen it so many times on the map, and that's how I was able to go to the point I want. And of course later in the hotel, when I was in the quiet atmosphere, I was able to fix the cables and keep doing on the next day. Cross number 2 is the price. A good map costs about $10–15 maximum. Even if you have to buy 5 or 6 different maps, it will be much cheaper than a simple GPS device. So guys, at the end I talk so much and I did not answer the question, GPS or paper map. I didn't answer because it is obvious. Use both GPS and paper map. The GPS will guide you all the time, but the paper map is the one to help you when you really need it. That's all for today, guys. Grab the map and the marker and go to make a new plans. Thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for a new video every week. Ride safe. Ciao.